were told to be afraid. Afraid of the market crashing, afraid of missing out, afraid of the stranger, the disease, the headline, the algorithm that knows your face. You were told this was protection, vigilance, common sense. It sounds correct. Fear kept your ancestors alive. Fear pulled hands away from fire, pulled feet away from cliffs. So when the modern world hands you fear wrapped in a headline, a subscription, an insurance policy, an app notification, some old animal part of you nods. Yes, this feels like survival. It is not survival. It is a transaction. Somewhere, someone calculated the exact dosage of dread required to keep you watching, keep you clicking, keep you buying the thing that promises to make the fear stop. Fear, in the world you live in, is not a warning system anymore. It is inventory. Machiavelli wrote it plainly 5 centuries ago. In a line the comfortable world prefers to forget. It is better to be feared than loved, if you cannot be both. He was not describing a prince's temperament. He was describing a mechanism of control. Fear is cheaper to manufacture than loyalty, and it is far more reliable. Loyalty must be earned, slowly, imperfectly. Fear can be installed overnight with the right image, the right statistic, the right tone of voice at 10 seconds past the hour. The men who ran states in his century understood this without needing a word for it. The modern men who run markets, platforms, and networks understood it too, and gave it better names. Risk management, engagement, retention. Underneath every one of those words sits the same cold architecture Machiavelli mapped in a Florentine study. A population kept slightly unsettled is a population that can be led, sold to, and governed without resistance. The costume changed. The mechanism did not. Here is the anatomy of the illusion, stripped of its packaging. Fear activates the amygdala before it reaches anything resembling reason. This is not metaphor. This is measurable, timed in milliseconds. The threat registers, and the body reacts before the mind has finished forming a thought about it. Whoever controls the stimulus controls the reaction, and they know it lands before you can object. This is not a flaw in the system. This is the system. Consider the insurance industry, built entirely on a monetized fear of the unpredictable. Consider the news cycle, which discovered decades ago that a story about danger outperforms a story about safety by a wide, dependable margin, and adjusted its entire output accordingly. Consider the security industry, the supplement industry, the protect your family industry, each one selling relief from a fear it has a direct financial interest in keeping alive. Cure the fear completely, and the product has no customer left, so the fear is never cured. It is managed, metered, renewed like a subscription, because that is precisely what it has become. The corporate analogy is almost too clean. A company does not want a customer who solves their problem and leaves. A company wants a customer who returns, because the problem was never fully resolved, only soothed, temporarily, at a price. Fear-based marketing follows the same logic with surgical precision. The alarm is real enough to be believed. The solution is partial enough to require repurchase. This is not conspiracy. It does not require a room full of men agreeing to lie to you. It only requires that fear sells better than calm, and that everyone downstream of that discovery optimizes toward what sells. The system does not need a villain. It only needs incentives, and incentives do the rest, without anyone having to feel responsible. This is the cage, beautifully built. You walk through it daily, checking the notifications, reading the warnings, buying the protections, feeling responsible and informed the entire time, while the architecture profits from the exact unease it manufactured in you an hour earlier. Now the reversal, how the ones who built this game move differently inside it. First rule, they ration their inputs. The undisciplined mind consumes every alert, every headline, every warning, and calls this being informed. The disciplined mind treats information exposure the way a strategist treats supply lines, deliberately, sparingly, on a schedule they control rather than one designed by someone else's engagement metrics. You are not required to know everything the moment it happens. That urgency was manufactured. Starve it. Second rule, they separate the signal from the performance. Most fear presented to you is theater, dressed in urgency, styled for virality, engineered to spread. Real risk is almost always quiet, procedural, unglamorous. It shows up in contracts, in balance sheets, in the fine print nobody dramatizes, because drama doesn't sell fine print. The ones who move calmly through crisis after crisis have trained themselves to distrust anything screaming for their attention, and to lean toward the things that whisper. Loud is rarely dangerous. Quiet is where the danger actually lives. Third rule, they price their own fear before anyone else can price it for them. Before reacting to a warning, they ask what it costs them to believe it, and who profits if they do. This single question, who benefits from my fear right now, dismantles most manufactured panic within seconds. Machiavelli's princes asked a version of this constantly. Not, is this threat real? But, who gains from me believing it is? The question has not aged. It has simply gone unasked by nearly everyone standing outside the walls of power. Do not go explain this to the people still inside the maze. They will defend the walls. Fear that has been lived in long enough starts to feel like identity, and you cannot argue someone out of an identity. You will only be added to their list of new threats to fear. Say nothing. Unsubscribe quietly. Mute the sources that profit from your unease, one at a time, without announcement. The strategist never explains the exit. The strategist simply stops being present at the location. Apply this alone, in your own accounts, your own feeds, your own late-night scrolling. Decide what earns your dread and what does not, and revoke the rest without ceremony. Nobody claps for this. Nobody is supposed to. The maze was designed to be admired from inside, not escaped in public. Ask yourself, once, honestly, how much of what frightens you today was chosen by you, and how much was sold to you? True power was never loud. It was never